So now that we've talked a little bit about the mindset side of shining, let's talk about the practical. What are some practices that you can actually take to make shining feel safer in your body and your life? One of my favorite practices is to make bragging a neutral. So as women especially, I think we're so conditioned not to brag, to not be too show-offy, too loud, too unapologetic, too much, too big, too bold. It goes on, and it's like this dance that we constantly have to walk, right? But let's change that. So I think it's starting to shift in some circles. I want to tell this story about how once I was working with this women's leadership coach, and she had some unique ways of teaching and doing things. And so we hopped on a call, just a business call, to talk about her next marketing plan. And instead of diving right into the details and nitty gritty, she goes, "Hey, it's so great to hear from you. Let's start the call with some brags." And I was like, "Some what?" I was like, "Some brags." She's like, "Yeah, tell me, brag about some things you're doing in your life." And instead of immediately being like, "Okay, well, let me tell her about all the good things in my life," I already instantly had that conversation in my head going, okay, well, here's the calculation. What can I tell her that's good, but not too good, where I'm bragging, right? Or I'm showing off. What can I tell her that makes me seem like a productive, achievement-based human being that she's glad to work with, but also not like I'm trying to steal her thunder or overpower her? I was amazed at how many formulas started going from someone who was literally asking me to take up space and to brag and to just say what I was excited about. And you may resonate with that as well, where as women, we are just constantly walking this line around how much we can brag or not. But that has got to shift. So what we practice doing whenever we would hop on the phone with each other and say some brags is we practice taking up space, and we practice talking about the good in our lives and what we're excited about. And there's something so healing around being with women who allow you to take up as much space as you want and to be excited and to go bigger and to say your biggest dreams and actually be excited about it versus you having to feel like you're playing down around that. So you may not have those circles in your life now. If you do, amazing, pour into those relationships. But if not, just do it and start with yourself. Start with going and journaling and writing your brags. Start with making this feel safe and comfortable in your body. So this can be part of your journaling practice, where maybe if you're going to start your day with a few gratitude lists, instead you also, or in addition, you started out with your brags and you spend 10 minutes or 5 minutes writing down a page of things that you brag about. It can be the time that you were so nice to a kid in elementary school. It can be that you tipped really nicely at dinner the other week. It can be that you smiled at the barista and genuinely asked them about their day. It can be that you just closed $1 million deal at work. It can be that you started business. It can be that you asked for more, for a raise or promotion. It can be the smallest or the biggest things, but the point is to get them down and to, one, start acknowledging all the ways you're shining, but two, to make it start to feel safer in your own body to look at those things. In the receiving mini course, we talk about how if you cannot feel gratitude and celebrate your successes, you're subconsciously teaching your nervous system that it's not safe to do so, to feel success, to receive more, because you're basically don't do that, let's just keep moving and not even have a moment to look at the success and joy that we're receiving. So the same thing with shining. If you never take a moment to shine, to take up space, to brag, you're still kind of teaching your body that it's unsafe. So spend some time doing it every day. Just make that muscle of being able to shine, take up space, and even brag. Make it more neutral in your body. And then if you do have circles of women in business or health or anywhere else where you can talk about the good in your life, where you can say how big you want to go, prioritize those relationships. You can even start trying to make that tribe. You'll know in your life whether you feel like you have that circle or not, and whether it's ready for it or not. But if you do feel like you're blessed with girlfriends who will get it, see how that would feel. Be like, I really want to know what your biggest dream is. I want to know if things went better than you ever expected, what would life look like? And then can I tell you mine as well? And make it this fun thing between the two of you where it's something you can actually say out loud. This is some of the most healing stuff I've done, because I think it's just so conditioned in us to never get that chance that it feels like freedom to be able to say these things. So try it out, make bragging a neutral or better, make it part of your life, and see what starts to shift around shining.